everybody, this is Katrina from Cat We Trust, and I am finally back after a long hiatus with my review video of the movie Megan that just came out about a month ago. But before I get into all the details and my thoughts about that movie, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and click that notification button so you can get any new videos from me on my channel. Before I break down my thoughts about the movie Megan, I'm going to tell you there will be some spoilers. So if you have not had a chance to watch Megan, please pause the video here, come back at a later date because I'm going to spoil a little bit of things about this movie. So, getting into it, in movie history, or TV show history, we have known to have the creepy dolls situation. There's always been stories with creepy dolls who's doing a little too much stuff they shouldn't be doing. And so, not to really reveal my age here, but if you grew up like I did sometimes, especially on New Year's Eve, going into New Year's, there will be a Twilight Zone marathon and you watch a whole bunch of episodes of Twilight Zone, and we got Talking Tina with episode A Living Doll, or The Living Doll, one or the other. And Talking Tina was a doll. You kind of pulled the string. She said two to three sayings, and that was it. But in this Twilight Zone episode, Tina was saying some stuff she probably shouldn't said, and wound up leading to the death of the stepdad in that episode. And so that was like my first experience with a creepy doll. I think it was, living doll. And I actually one of my favorite episodes of Twilight Zone actually. And then you think of Chucky, and everybody knows Chucky. Chucky has been around a long time. There has been multiple movies. He had a bride, he has a child, he got reborn again. Chucky has been there a long time, but if you don't know who Chucky is, Chucky was a good guy doll, and poor little Andy just wanted a good guy doll for his birthday. He was happy, yay, single mom just trying to make ends meet and make her kid happy. Totally understand all that stuff. I'm mama, totally get it. So you do what you can for your kid. And she gets Chucky, who unfortunately the one that she happened to buy wind up being possessed with the soul of a serial killer, Charles Leeway. He was the person who put his corrupted soul into the good guy doll, and we got Chucky. We got evil Chucky, and Chucky was a something. He did a lot of cursing, a lot of stabbing, a lot of killing. Chucky was a bad doll. He was not a good guy doll. And then you think of even more recently of the story Annabelle, who is based off the Raggedy Ann doll Annabelle by Lorraine and Ed Warren, who has the Raggedy Ann in their museum, or rather their son-in-law, since they're both deceased, rest in peace, in their home, but it's based off the story of the doll who kind of did things the doll shouldn't have been doing. And so, we got Annabelle, which kind of spurned from the Conjuring universe, one of my favorite movies, and we got all these other Annabelle creation, Annabelle as far as how did she come to be. And so we have all these dolls. And so Megan, I was like, all right, I've watched all these other creepy dolls. Let's see what we're gonna get. And so I am a fan of James Wan, one of my actual favorite horror directors, because he gave me Insidious, he gave me The Conjuring, and it's like perfect type horror movies, in my opinion. I'm not gonna debate. I mean, you could, but I'm gonna tell you you're wrong. One of my favorite, super awesome, nice tension type horror movies. And so, unfortunately, the last somewhat horror movie we were supposed to get was Malignant from James Wan, and I really wasn't a fan. I rewatched Malignant recently, and I reaffirmed that I just wasn't a fan of how ridiculous some of the stuff was. And so I came into wanting to watch Megan apprehensively. I didn't know how I was gonna feel. I didn't know what this was. But again, James Wan is my guy, and sometimes Bloomhouse, they do some stuff. So I'm like, all right, okay, so let's give it a try. And so I went to go see Megan, and before I give my actual thoughts, let's get a little breakdown of the plot. So there's a girl named Katie who unfortunately is in a car accident with her parents in the very beginning of the movie. Parents not paying attention to the road, they kind of arguing, those kind of parents, and they die. And poor Katie is not only injured, but she is now orphaned and has to go live with her Aunt Gemma, who happens to be a roboticist who works at this super high tech company in Seattle, Washington called Funky. And so Gemma is not only dealing with the loss of her sister, but now she's kind of has to be a parent, has to be a guardian. And, she's a single lady trying to make, the top of the toy world, trying to make her name. And you have Katie, who's, was dealing with the fact that her parents was kind of arguing and she lost them it's a very traumatic event to have to get thrown into a whole new situation. So let's get now to the doll Megan. So Gemma does work at Funky, where she's making. I'm probably pronouncing the name totally wrong, but she works and she is creating this doll, which is a Model 3 generative android, aka Megan, who is a doll powered by AI, and AI, artificial intelligence. And so it's designed to be the ultimate companion to any child that it is paired with. So you pair it with the child, and this doll will then adjust its personality to be like the child's best friend. And again, I used to work at American Girl in New York City. If anybody knows what those dolls is, had super awesome books and the matching dolls. And sometimes dolls can cost a lot of money, but a lot of the American Girl dolls, or the kids who bought those dolls, it was like their little friends. They had the little hair salon, they had tea parties, they had the little hospital wing when I worked there. And so this is even more awesome because Megan can not only talk and adjust and have conversations and can remember things, she can walk and you guys can like have a good old time as if you have another child or another sibling or whatever you want to go. And so it's a situation where you have this doll, but also paired with the new living situation between Gemma and Katie, who's trying to kind of work out how to bond with Katie, who's unfortunately dealing with a lot of trauma. And so before I tell you how I guess rate the movie, let's tell you some things that kind of annoyed me about this movie, but in a way, I guess as a mom. And so again, I said Katie was grieving, and I do totally understand why. I have not lost a parent, I have lost somebody before, and grief sucks. And sometimes grief comes in really angry ways. But there was kind of moments that I was like, listen here, Katie, couldn't be me. I'm a mom, like I said. We're not doing tantrums. Like I said, express your emotions. If you need to cry, fine. If you need to even yell a bit, fine. Because, anger is usually a secondary type of emotion. But Katie was having a couple of tantrums that I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Pause, Katie. Let's tone this down a bit. I think at one point she like kicked the back of Gemma's chair in the car. I'm like, that could have been another accident. Like, hello, sis, just lost your parents. And then she like slapped the therapist. And see, that personally, if I was like, I'm gonna have to flippy flip. You're not gonna, no, let's not have these type of tantrums happening. Okay, and then Gemma, which again, workaholic aunt who never had to be a parent before and also have to figure out this new adjustment and being a role of a guardian or a parental figure. And she was like explaining during the the presentation of when she was pitching it, like this is gonna be the companion where like Megan's supposed to be telling people to like flush toilets, and I'm like, wait a minute, here we go again. Katie's old enough to know how to flush the toilet and wash her hands. Why do a doll have to tell you, sis, to wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap and water, warm water, because warm water gets the germs, and flush the toilet? Because I'm like, are you even wiping, sis? You're too old for this. You're too old. I was a little annoyed by that as a parent. I'm like, why are we doing these shenanigans today? And so I was like, okay. But as with all dolls, Megan is also designed to help keep Katie safe from all mental, physical, and emotional harm. And there were some situations that poor little Katie was in, like the neighbor's dog who was doing the absolute most, which Megan handled. And there was this little evil little boy who looked like he was a future serial killer in the making that Megan had to handle. And so in certain situations, I really didn't feel bad for these people because I'm like, let's not, sometimes I'm all for, sometimes you guys deserve these kind of things. And the neighbor was doing the most. I love dogs too, but like, calm down. Your dog is biting up people, and you want to talk about gates like, sis, you're lucky. The dog did get taken away. And there was a whole other thing with the cops just being so unhelpful with that. But, cops are very rarely helpful in horror movies, but here we are. And the little serial killer kid, I don't know, you're being kind of a douche canoe, little asshole, and so I don't really feel bad what happened to you. But I find myself being more entertained than I thought I was going to be. Again, I came in to Megan, like, I don't know if I'm going to like it because I didn't like Malignant and, same writer and James Wan. And so I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about this. Excuse me, the writer is Akilah Cooper. I want to make sure I get her name. But I just wasn't a fan of Malignant. But I was actually cracking up at Megan because I was like, you know what, Megan? They deserve it. Don't do these kind of shenanigans. You kind of actually, Katie probably needed a couple of little slappy slaps. Not to say violence or anything, but she was acting a little too much. But I didn't feel bad for anything. Like I said, and there was a couple of people I was like, well, did this person deserve this? Probably not. But this is where you now have to question how much was you guys paying attention in the beginning. And so when Gemma was kind of doing the first test run, Megan really wasn't doing what she was supposed to be doing. And personally, being overthinking and overanalyzing and thinking worst case scenario in every situation, I'm probably would have pulled the plug on Megan and just left it alone. But Gemma wanted to do what she wanted to do, and Megan got a little out of control. Okay, and so Megan was like even gonna like she was laying down the law for anybody that might have got in Katie's space of mental and safety. But as we are expected with little creepy dolls, sometimes the dolls what might have been good intentions are not good. And so I will not tell you the end. I want you to watch it because again, I found it very funny. It was very humorous. A lot of satire that I appreciated. It was like a lot of like a lot of shenanigans that I actually liked a lot better in this than I did in *Malignant*. And so I really enjoyed it. It was a funny movie. There's a couple of scenes, like I said, Megan dressed to the teeth. Sis was always on point. Hair was always laid, and she had nice little pea color. Like she was dressing better than me. And I was like, okay, sis, give me some tips. It was a pretty solid. Like, I enjoyed it. I laughed throughout most of it. I enjoyed it. So if I'm rating this out of a five, I would probably get a 4.5 out of five. It was really good. It was really well done. I thought there was moments that was just really funny. There were things that just hit the way they were supposed to, and it wasn't like there were some things that's kind of ridiculous and a bit over the top, but I think that was the point of it. And so I actually really enjoyed it. I liked it. And so yeah, that is my review of the movie. Again, 4.5 out of 5 stars. Not a perfect five, but really close because it was really well done. And James Wan, as just restored my faith in his directing because I was a little stressed. A little stressed. I'm not gonna, excuse me, well, producing. I believe it was a different director, but I was a little stressed because I wasn't sure how this was gonna play out because sometimes, *Malignant* just didn't hit the way I wanted it to. And so, you guys, tell me your thoughts of Megan if you have seen it. Tell me if you liked it, if you hated it, what parts were your favorites. I'll love to discuss with you in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching this with me. Again, I apologize for being a bit late, but I was on a little hiatus, just getting myself together, and it was a busy December, and so I'm just kind of taking a moment to breathe. And so thank you as always for still hanging with me. I love you guys, and until the next video, I'll catch you later. Bye.